I think that we can never sort of escape our family of origin, that we're constantly working through that. And I certainly see things that pertain to my family, not just in the stories that they related to me, but in actual memories or important things that happened. I often talk about how when I was 14, my father came out to the family. He worked in the church. And so my parents, who were liberal Democrats, and would say things like, well, the Bible is an allegory. This is symbolism. But we did not live in that kind of community. We lived in a very sort of religious conservative Texas town. And so when my father came out to the family, I was 14, and my parents said, this is okay and we can talk about it, but you can't tell anyone or your father will lose his job. And worse could happen. He could actually, his life could actually be in danger. So I became a secret keeper. And I think that there are a lot of writers who are observers and who have some history of secret keeping. And so I think that writing in many ways was a way of being able to tell the truth. So certainly some of that and some of the injustice that I felt about what was happening to my father, I think that those themes end up in my books. I grew up in a very political family too, very politically aware family. We were constantly talking about politics. I count All the President's Men as one of those movies that if it's on TV, I can't stop watching it. I will just sit and be like, all right, that's it, I'm done. It's Dustin and Robert, and here we go. And I grew up in the Watergate era as well. And so we were always talking about politics around the dinner table. I remember, my parents boycotted Nestle, and when Cesar Chavez was asking us to boycott, I remember we boycotted grapes, and so we were talking about movements as well. We were talking about revolution and change. And so those stories, I think, clearly have influenced my choice of subject matter, because I do think that I deal with politics in everything that I work on. I also think that there are themes of illusion and reality, and what is illusion, what is reality? If you know, please contact me. And I think that was also, having grown up in the South, where appearances are very, very important. And I always joke that if if somebody's murdered at a Texas dinner party, you just kind of say, well, we'll just go on in here and have our coffee in the living room. It's like, well, let's just not talk about the dead body. So I think that there's a lot of that as well.